Krystall,
Yes.
got a couple questions for you.
Let's go.
I'm
ready. I'm ready.
Let's get it. So, how did KBean Company begin?
I knew he was gonna ask.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, okay. So, like I was saying, when I moved to Georgia, like I'm coming from Mobile, grew up in Mobile, well, Pritchard.
Oh.
Went straight to Georgia. Like, I have never been, in my own apartment on my own up until I moved to Georgia. I got married and just moved to Georgia.
Wow.
Yes, totally different type of experience. But anywho, so my husband had always been talking about, I want to have my own this, I want to have my own that, different type of things. But I wasn't thinking that way.
Okay.
And I used to think that was so odd, like, when I want to get your own stuff, that seemed like a lot of work. I was just like really lazy about the whole idea of having your own. And I don't know why I was thinking like that, because before I even moved, I used to work at Pizza Hut.
Okay.
At that moment, I realized that this really ain't something I'm trying to do. Went to college for nursing because it was practical. An income I could get right off the bat. Plus, my mom was a nurse. But I was sitting in my anatomy class, like, and the way she broke it down, I was like, nah. This ain't for me. Dropped the class. And then that's when I moved. Got another job when I was in Georgia.
Okay.
And at that moment, that's when I realized there is more to life than this. I want to be able to work with who I want to work with. I don't want nobody telling me, when I can take a lunch break,
right,
if I can go to the bathroom or not, and I need to do this, and that. And that never sat with me well. And then his voice in the back of my head repeating, man, I'm trying to have my own this, I'm trying to have my own that. And it was like, hey, can I have my own stuff? So at that moment, that's when I started to go within myself to see what am I good at. Then I remember growing up, my aunt used to kind of sort of draw with me, but not necessarily. It was really just me doing all the drawing. Clothing designs. And she would say, when I get older, we can have a brand called KT Apparel. There you go. So started thinking back on that, and I was like, maybe I could be a fashion designer, Started back drawing my dresses and all that good stuff. They're good designs, but I had more fun drawing the clothes than sewing out the clothes.
Gotcha.
Because my mom taught me how to sew. That was just like,
that's just something.
I was like, okay, we're gonna let that pass. What else? So, needless to say, it took me 6 years. 6 years to figure out what's my talent, what's useful, what can I give back to people, like what can I do to make people smile. I done went through several business names in my head trying to figure that out. That took a long time. It just was a whole process. Made a website, that didn't go so well, so I let it go. I let this go so many times until last year. I picked back up on it because it was this year. No, last year is when I was working on it. Didn't really seem like it was taking off. Had my son, and then this year, I just quit my job and was like, I'm finna just focus on KBean Company.
Wow.
Bam.
Okay.
That was a very, very long explanation, but in a nutshell, it took me 6 years to get all of that together.
Let's go into those 6 years for a moment. I guess, but I mean, you gave us a generalization of some of the things that you went into, but emotionally, I feel like you skipped over them a little bit. Like, what was it like, essentially finding yourself in those 6 years?
Oh, it was hard. It was really, really hard. Very emotional. very, very emotional because I didn't feel like, you know, I had anything to give to the world or to give to myself. I was always kind of lazy, didn't really want to put forth effort into anything, like as far as like, well, for example, college. Like, I didn't put the time in to actually do the scholarships that had essays and this and that. Had I done that, I'd probably be in a totally different space, if that makes sense. So with this, it was just hard because I didn't think like I said, I didn't think I could do anything. And dang, I had my point. I can't even think of what my point was because I was trying to reference from school.
You had the scholarships. You felt like you were a bit lazy.
Yeah, so, oh my bad. I was trying to prove to myself that I can work hard towards something. But, you know, became a mom. And so that kind of felt like, I don't know how to balance all of this. I'm going to have to just go to work and just, you know, get a 9-to-5 and provide for my kids. My husband's still on, I'm gonna get my own this, gonna get my own that. And I just used to sit there like, dang, it must be so lucky to have all of that put together. Little did I know, didn't have it all put together. He was still working on it, but he believed in himself. So he was still, you know, pushing it out there, speaking it to existence. And I'm just sitting here like, what can I do? What I'm gonna do? So, there's this beautiful, wonderful lady named Miss Sunshine. She's the one who is my husband's cousin. She's the one who heightened my spirituality because she's very spiritual. And one day she was like, why don't you do something with crystals? You know, the healing crystals.
Right.
It must be a reason why your name is Krystall. So why not, you know,
look into it.
Look into crystals. So I was like, what do you think about it? So anyways, I dabbled onto that. Thought that was going to take off, but it really didn't. So I let it go again. Got all emotional and depressed and just... It's a whole roller coaster. It's a whole roller coaster.
Okay. I appreciate that transparency. The reason I bring that up is because I never think it's fair to sell the hype of following your dream without discussing the emotional toll it can take. I don't think it would be fair to tell everyone to go, chase your dreams and be happy, but at the same time not tell them about those times like we were talking about before we started recording. There are days you're up, there's days you're down.
Well, you feel like a complete failure.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like why did I think to do something like this? I don't know why I thought this was finna take off, and just looking at yourself like, how you thought you was finna do that? But then you get your other days where it's like, you know what? Let's look back on the reason why we're doing this. Kind of, push that on up and stop the self-talk, the self-doubting, and hate talk with yourself. And just remember why you're doing this in the first place. And pick yourself back up. But yes, they don't mention that at all. Like the low days,
right.
It's always, yeah, you should do this, you should do that, and you blah, blah, blah. But nobody ever says, you're going to have some times where you just want to quit.
Well, I'm glad you shared that with the universe. Because people need to know that. But you're still here today. That's the important part. So let's backtrack a little bit. What really inspired you to stay the course with KBean Company?
My kids.
Expound on that a little bit more.
Oh, well, when I moved a couple of months later, I got pregnant with my daughter. After that, I dealt with postpartum really, really bad. Postpartum depression, like really, really bad. That was probably my lowest point in my life. And then that goes back into the timeline of seeing, hearing, I wanted to have my own this, have my own that. seeing that but not feeling like you can do anything, but finally discovering something that you think you can do, but then that just don't go as you thought it would be, and then working a 9 to 5 because you got to take care of your kids, but at the same time you want to show your kids that you can follow your dreams. It is very possible to do that.
Right.
As long as you have somebody in your life to motivate you and tell you, baby, you could do anything. But I felt like, how can I sit there and tell my daughter that? But I am miserable at this 9 to 5 job. So I got to do it. I got to be the example. Plus, I'm doing it for myself. Because like I said, I don't like working for nobody. I really don't. And I felt constricted. I felt like I couldn't spread my wings. I'm a very, carefree, not outgoing, but carefree spirit. Like, I have a lot to express to the world. Working when I was working, was not getting it. No. But, yeah, I wanted to show my daughter that I can do it. Then I had my son. So that really gave me some motivation, like, okay, yeah. That's why this year, it really took off.
Okay.
Yep, I had him November 2019.
Oh, man. That was like yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I got to get this back rolling. March 2019, quit my job and was like, you know what? I'm finna really do this.
That's dope.
Yep. And I had a store at one point. Best experience ever. Then I went to strictly online, but it felt so cool when my baby girl, she's my oldest, she's 4. She was like, Mom, you finna go to your store? I was like, yes. Okay. So we go to the store. She's like, ooh, Mama, I love your store. This is so cool, Mama. What she like to say? You got this, Mama. Like, yeah, thank you.
That's amazing.
So now I know that it's like, what's the word? She's seeing it.
Right. It's coming to fruition in her eyes. That's amazing, man. Do you think that could possibly be like, how you dedicated this, I guess, the success to them, so therefore it manifests back out of them back to you? Because energy cannot be destroyed; it's only transferred. So.
Wow. That was a very good point. Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you manage to balance being a business owner and mom?
Ooh. It's a struggle. Seriously. I've broken down several times within the last few months because I homeschool my daughter as well. And I have a 6-month-old who's about to be 7 months old who acquires so much attention. Not saying it's a bad thing, but I used to always hear boys need more attention than girls. That's what I was told. Like, and they love their moms. So, yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's like I'm trying to balance the attention between her and him, my household, and the job. And KBean Company. It's a struggle.
I appreciate that honesty.
Oh my goodness. It's like that was already in the back of my head. So when you asked that, it was like,
you were ready.
But I'm doing it.
Right.
At the end of the night, that's what I tell myself. Like, I don't know how, but you're doing it.
So conceptually, since you came up with the idea to now, how long have you been active with KBean Company?
This year.
Awesome.
This is the most I've dedicated to KBean Company.
Okay. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Realigning
it got to
those
start,
priorities.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah. At least I come back to it and I fully let it go.
Some people quit.
I can see how they can do that, but I had to give it a shot.
Right.
I had to.
Bet on yourself. Try it. So far, We've discussed the ups and the downs and the motivation behind it. So let's talk future. So this is what I call my infamous future question. So if you need a moment, I perfectly understand. Because for those of you who are watching or listening, I did not give her these questions before she came here. So these are completely blindsiding her. So where would you like to see yourself in KBean Company in 1 year, in 3 years, and then in 10 years?
In 1 year, I hope to have my own store, because I was in somebody else's shop.
Okay.
But in 1 year, I hope to have my own store.
Okay.
And I hope that my clientele increases to the point where I do, need a store.
Okay.
Let's see. What you said? 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
3 years, I hope to have my store still up and running,
Okay.
but one in Georgia and one in Mobile.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm just say
Okay.
in 10 years, I plan to be huge. Huge.
Okay.
Like RSA Tower huge.
Oh.
Yes. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to, jinx myself. But I got something in store, or my ultimate plan is dedicated to the people.
Okay.
Meaning helping them with their arts. Because ultimately, I love art. I'm an artist. So,
Right.
yeah. So, my ultimate goal is to dedicate to other artists.
I love that. Okay. So, if you love art, you probably are missing Art Walk like I am. Like
Art walk?
Yeah.
What is that?
How long have you been back?
17, so 4 years?
And you haven't been to Art Walk downtown?
No.
Oh my god. Have you ever heard of it?
I think I have. I think I know what you're talking about. Is there like different vendors and stuff?
Art, vendors,
My
music.
first time ever going, since I probably going when I was a kid, or if they had it then, because we used to go downtown a lot. But as an adult, I only went to it one time, and I caught it at the end because somebody had me late.
Oh.
I was so upset. Because I was so excited to take me and my baby, and I was so upset.
It's bustling, music, art, food, people. When it comes back, make it a point. I know you're super mom, but take you a little 30 minutes. Just get you some art in your life.
Yes.
I promise you won't regret it.
What time of year do they do that?
It's the second Friday of each month. Excuse me.
Oh, it's a monthly thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's dope. I don't know if they've started it back because Captain COVID, but yeah, when it does start back, I'm gonna be there full effect. I love it.
Oh.
It's a good little relaxation on a Friday night.
Just hit me up if you hear about it,
Yeah.
because I'm definitely going to go.
I'll shoot you a flyer or what? Yeah. Because I know I've met a few artists who goes there, and sometimes we walk around interviewing people on the street. So it's a good vibe. I lost my train of thought there. Oh, there it is. Oh, so I know, right? I want to come back to something you said about the RSA Tower. My first batch of recordings for 2020 was from the RSA Tower. So I thought that was interesting that you brought that up, because that is actually a goal of mine, to get back there and get back to what I was doing there. So that was confirmation. That was dope. That was dope. All right.
Yeah, okay, this finna happen.
So with pursuing your career, the hardest thing to do is share it with the world. It's the scariest thing, naturally, because you're taking something you're passionate about, and you're saying, "Here, world, here it is. This is what I want to do." You know what I'm saying? What words of encouragement would you have for that person that's afraid to step out on their own and take a chance on themselves?
Ooh. I would say, because I'm thinking about somebody in particular, I would say don't give up. Don't give up at all. It is going to get hard. It's going to get very hard. You're going to probably cry quite a few times. And you're going to quit mentally. But all I got to say is don't give up. And surround yourself with people that's actually going to motivate you. That's going to tell you, you know what? You got this. Just keep it moving. Just keep going. Or remind them of why they started it in the first place. Oh, what else would I say? I think that's it. Yeah, that's the
Some solid words. Yeah, 'cause I think that's important. You know, revisiting why, realizing that you being brave inspires others.
I'm sorry. Oh, and if it doesn't seem to be going how you want it, or if it's not really taking off, reevaluate. Go back to the drawing board. Just don't completely quit it. Just go back to the drawing board. Change, the name or something, or add another product, or switch out a product, or find a different outlet of yourself that you want to give to the world. Just don't completely give up on it.
I love it.
Because that's what I did. I knew it was there. Didn't even know what the name was, but I knew it was there. And just, okay, I can do this, I can do this. What are my talents? What can I do? Like I was saying earlier, what are my talents? What can I give back to the people? What will actually be useful? So, yeah. And what makes me happy? Yeah. And what makes me happy? Because that was the whole point of me going on this entrepreneurial journey, is doing what makes me happy.
I think at the end of the day, that's all you really need. Because you can do great, be successful, but not be happy.
Yes.
And it's trash. It is the most incomplete feeling ever. But doing what you want to do, when you want, because you love it, and still finding success.
And it made people happy too.
And it made people happy. You see how your voice elevate when you did. And it made people happy. That's how you know it's sincere. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Krystall, if anybody wants to get in contact with you regarding your business, what is the best way to contact you?
And you can write me on Messenger.
Hey.
Because that's going to come right to me. Or you can click the chat button on my website, KBeanCompany.com. It's that little chat box in the right bottom corner, and just click it, and you can ask me any question about any of the products. I'm more than welcome, more than happy to give the answer to it.
All right. And she responded pretty quick, y'all. I can vouch for it. Pretty quick.
Yes. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to say.
Violence.
That I literally just realized this. KBean Company is every part of me. Like, for an example, I've worked with crystals. I use sage on a daily. I love incense. What else? I've always used and made bath salts. Yoni steams. I use yoni steams. Lock jewelry, because I just started my locks. Like, everything that I have, or the product, is a product of myself that I'm giving back to the world.
All right. Another way to share yourself with the world, girl.
Yes.
Well, Krystall, it's been my pleasure interviewing you. This has been a delightful conversation. I am a fan of your products. Look, if you could look to the left, you will see the ashes of one of your incense from earlier. Yo, I meditate to your incense. Dead serious. It helps my day. It starts it differently, because I'm not a positive person in the morning, so I have to kind of reset. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Well, I appreciate that a lot.
So I appreciate you and what you do, because you lucky to all my money, because I need it. This aromatherapy and tranquility this provides me is priceless.
You got a diffuser?
No, I haven't. We're gonna have to talk.
What? Yes, get you a diffuser. Yes. Essential oils?
I don't have any.
I'm
gonna talk.
Okay.
We're gonna talk after this. But
Okay.
This has been your boy Sirr, Krystall,
Peace.
KBean Company, and we out, baby. So like this.
So like this.
Like you're trying to talk across the room a little bit, not a whole lot.
So how you said you was doing today?
That'll work.
Okay.
That right there is perfect. Perfect.
Wee.
I'm sorry, I ain't trying to make you Fantasia out here. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you know, she be screaming. But thank you for tuning into. Thank you for tuning into another episode of A Business Minute. I'm your boy Sirr, and I got Krystall, the CEO of KBean Company. How are you doing, man?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's
so,
good.
Krystall,
That's good.
I was telling you earlier, I became a fan of your products. One day I had put out like a little message, like, yo, need some incense, and I need some sage. Who got me? And my co-host was like, yo, fam. I got you, B. I got you. So she actually showed me your page.
Oh, wow.
She showed me your business. She showed me who you were. And I was like, okay. I see an opportunity here. I get to support black business and I possibly get an interview. Now, let me tell you something. Don't do that. This is your interview, man.
Cool.
You take however long you want. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, we will go down that damn rabbit hole. Do you hear me? This is you. This is your moment. This is your conversation. This is your business. That being said, how would you want me to introduce you?
Like what you mean, like
your name, your business? How would you want me to say it?
Yeah, you can say my name and my business. I mean,
because I'm not a fan of doing last names. So how would you like me to do it? Because I understand so people can find you, but
you could just be like, I guess this is Krystall, owner of KBean Company. Finesse it, you know.
Say CEO because you CEO.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to sound like.
See that piece of paper?
Which one?
That is the one behind the ticket.
The fancy one.
That is my LLC license.
The
moment I got that, and I filled out my documents, and it asked what my position was, and the only option I had was CEO, I realized I had been a CEO this whole time. You are a CEO, ma'am. Don't you sell yourself short, okay?
Gotcha.
All right.